Hello, everybody. I come with a short message because something happened that is quite important. You should know that I'm a down-to-earth person, and I learned to have my feet just straight on the ground and don't go into the sky or go to the moon with my thoughts when it comes to spiritual things. But I am a prophet, and I do hear the voice of God, and He was telling me certain things that are very important right now. It has to do with a certain message that I'm going to let you hear. Because while I was preparing for the last 2 or 3 days for a message that I will bring out about America, it's very detailed about America in the Bible, I could several times hear uh, Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabia, and I could hear that I should listen to something about Saudi Arabia. And well, I was already aware that there was something about the petrodollar that they wanted to drop this deal that they had with America. So I was thinking about Saudi Arabia was going to war or something. That's something that God was showing me, or that God was telling me, or try to tell me. So I didn't actually knew what was going on, why I should view something about Saudi Arabia. Um, and I knew that Saudi Arabia would not just be attacked or something. I did not see any reason why. Until I came to this news bulletin or this conversation of two gentlemen and one lady. Um, well, it first starts with two gentlemen that talk about what happened about the petrodollar that's being dropped by Saudi Arabia. And the fact that God is um, letting me understand things about it or um, talk to me about it means that it's so important, it has a great implication. It is something that will shock the United States of America because God doesn't do things in vain. Why should you let me know something about the petrodollar being dropped by Saudi Arabia? It's because something big is going to happen in that category. And that is something that you now should understand. So listen to what these persons have to say. It's going to be brief. I'm not going to post the whole thing, but just listen to it and see what God is doing. Keep coming back to my sermons, my documentaries. So just subscribe and press the like button, so that this thing will go up and people start to get noticed, start to notice this.
I'll start this second hour by discussing reports that Saudi Arabia is going to let the 50-year petrodollar agreement with the United States expire. Is the US dollar going to be able to remain the global reserve currency, or are we all, as a planet, looking at something new in the monetary realm with commodity-backed money potentially returning? Here to discuss this, I'm delighted to be joined by Andy Schechtman, President and owner of Miles Franklin Precious Metals. I am genuinely delighted to see you, Andy Schechtman. Thank you for joining us.
Well, the pleasure is mine. Thank you for the invitation. It's fantastic.
This story, Andy, absolutely preoccupies me. I became aware of the petrodollar, and I thought it was of huge significance, especially around what was happening in relation to Saudi Arabia. But many, even economists and economy-minded people that I talked to, tried to tell me that there is no such thing as a petrodollar. And there clearly is. So can you, for the beginners, really like myself and others out there, can you give a sense of what the petrodollar is and why it matters?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. The petrodollar has given the United States the ability to live far beyond its means for a very long time. It was a deal that was struck in 1974, 50 years ago, just a few weeks ago, whereby, in essence, for a condition of protection and military assistance with the Saudi kingdom and by extension, OPEC, for valuing oil in dollars globally and recycling any excess in U.S. treasuries, the Saudi kingdom was granted protection from the United States military. And it's been that way literally for 50 years, which has created a massive synthetic demand for the U.S. dollar. In other words, every single country on the planet has had to stockpile dollars in order to buy oil, where nearly 100% of all the oil sales over the last 50 years have been done in US dollars. It is a massive deal. Amongst other things, of course, Saudi Arabia joining BRICS, the BRICS New Development Bank, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And what really got me on this path almost 4 years ago was the realization that every single OPEC country, Saudi Arabia included, is on the Belt Road Initiative. Conspicuously, the West is not. And I would just simply say this is just another nail in the coffin. I call it logarithmic decay, little by little by little by little by little, then bang, all at once. Now, we haven't seen that all at once moment yet, but certainly you could argue the fuse has been lit in that Saudi Arabia now has carte blanche, really, to trade with whomever they want in whatever currency they want for oil without having it to be literally exclusively in US dollars. Big deal.